Up top this afternoon, a patient in Louisiana has been hospitalized with H5N1 bird flu, the first severe case in the United States. That's information coming from the CDC. The agency said the person was exposed to sick and dead birds in backyard flocks. This is the first U.S. bird flu case linked to a backyard flock. No word on where in the state exactly this case is. Now we want to continue this conversation with Rebecca Christopherson, Associate Professor at the Department of Pathobiological Sciences at the LSU School of Veterinary Medicine. Rebecca, thanks for joining us this afternoon. And first, can you explain what bird flu is and how it's different from the common flu?
Yeah, so the flu or influenza viruses are just there's flus for every kind of animals. There's flus for whales, there's flus for giraffes. This is just the type of flu that is seen more in avian populations or bird populations. So it's not commonly seen in human populations. They have, bird flu every year. It's just when it spills over into human populations, or as we're seeing across the country into cow populations as well, that it is unusual.
Now, is there a risk for person-to-person transmission of this virus?
At this time, we're not seeing person-to-person transmission, and that's good. There is, of course, the risk that it could develop an ability to have person-to-person transmission, and that's why we're so vigilant on keeping track of how many cows are infected, how many people infected, and how they got infected, because as there's more and more mammal transmission, then you have the opportunity for more and more mammal to mammal transmission, be it cows or people, and that's where you have the increase in the possibility of it doing human to human transmission.
And now, at this moment, what would you say is the risk to the general public right now?
To the general public, the risk remains low. The risk is primarily for people who are in contact with, birds. Either they have their own chickens at home, or they are in contact with wildlife and wild birds, either through recreation or work. Those still remain the slightly more at-risk populations.
Now, I did want to ask you one more question, kind of personal for me. My sister has an African gray parrot. And what about those folks with indoor birds like that? How at risk are they?
We're not sure. We haven't seen any cases, but of course they are birds, and I would say that there is a risk. So if you have pet birds, just practice good hygienes. Wash your hands before handling them, and after handling them. If you are sick and you're really worried about that, masking up will help prevent you from possibly sneezing into the bird or whatever. But I think at this point, if they're inside birds and you remain sort of vigilant and you have no contact with other birds, the risk probably remains really low.
All right, Rebecca, again, we thank you for joining us and thank you for giving us your expertise.